I love springtime because there's new life popping up all around us. Now, why is that new life popping up all around us? Because we just came out of winter where everything was dead and dying. And now we see the beautiful new life coming because of that. Well, I thought about that because this past winter we had a very hard freeze. We don't normally get freezes where I live, but we got a freeze and it killed almost my entire garden. And it was very depressing to look at my garden. It was just dead and brown. And I was very upset because some of these plants I've had for several years, and they were getting big and beautiful. And I was worried they wouldn't come back. And just a few days ago, I went out to the garden and I noticed that some of them are coming back to life. And I'm so excited about it. And some of them I saw are even coming back even more beautiful than they were before. So it spurred me to want to make this video talking about the death of ourselves. Now, in order for us to become a better person, we have to die or get rid of our old self. Now, I think about in the Bible, and it talks about the finding of the gold and silver. Now, how do you get silver and gold very pure? Well, you put it in a super hot fire to get rid of all of the impurities. And you keep putting it in the heat, intense heat, until you get that very super fine gold or fine silver. Now, that's kind of what we go through in our lives. Become better people, we have to go through fires in our lives. Now, if we just went around our whole lives being happy, then our lives kind of actually would almost get boring after a while, because we need to better ourselves, and so we go through some of these trials and things to become a better person, these deaths, these fires. I don't know if you've ever gone through experiences in your life. I know I've been through several experiences, and while you're in it, you're just like, oh my goodness, this is hell. What the heck is going on? Why is this happening to me? Why are they living a beautiful life and I have to go through this and this and this? And you just feel like you're going through all this stuff. But then maybe months after, years after, you reflect back on that and you're like, wow, I've become such a better person or a stronger person because of that situation. Or you can actually take what you've learned from that and help somebody else. Now, I want to apply this a little bit to your meditation and trying to become a better person because of that. Now, I know that through my journey, and my journey hasn't been that long. It's been less than a year, but oh my goodness, I've experienced so much in just this short amount of time. Now, I know that I had great healing right at the beginning. But after that great healing, I had some really, really tough times. I had some stuff where I'm like, oh, everything's great. And then all of a sudden it was like the crap hit the fan. It was just like, what the heck? You know, it was like, it almost like things were getting harder. And then it was like, it's like this river of change. You're going through this river of change and you're like, you're getting through that river and you're like, oh man, this is awesome. But then it's like, dang, you get right to that middle and then things are just really, really, really tough. And you don't want to go through it. It's just too tough and you want to turn back. But if you just keep pushing through that river and you get to the other side, or you at least get your way closer to that other side, then you can start to see that things are better. And you'll start to look back at what you just left and you're like, oh, wow. So that's what I'm talking about with nature. You can look at nature in the same way too. I have a peach tree in my yard. And in order for it to produce good fruit, it actually has to go through cold temperatures. If it's warm all the time, it's not going to produce fruit. It has to go through that cold period in order to produce good fruit. And so that's an interesting concept with us too. We have to go through some of these tough and trying things in order to produce our own fruit. And in order to produce whatever it is inside of us that's waiting to come out, waiting to grow. We've got beautiful stuff inside of us that we don't even know about. And sometimes when you're doing this work and you're doing your meditations and it seems like things are getting worse, embrace it, because you're going to know that you are that finding of gold. You're that gold. There's gold inside of you, and it's just, your life is just trying to get that crap out of you. You're literally getting all the old crap out of you, the old self, all that other stuff that you're holding on to. It's getting rid of all that so you can be a beautiful piece of gold shining, or you can bear that fruit that you need to bear after you go through that hard, trying times. And I just wanted to make this video to help encourage you guys, because I know I've gone through lots of things in my life, and you're going to continue to. You're not going to just be like, okay, now I'm healed, or now I've manifested this, and now I feel happy and great. You're still going to have those times. You're going to have that yin and yang in your life. You're going to have these highs and you're going to have the lows. But it seems like they're going to be less extreme after a while. It's like if you start to raise your vibration more, your extremes aren't going to be so much. I think those extremes are to really kick the crap out of you and say, come on, get rid of this crap. Why are you holding on to this? Like wake-up calls for a lot of you were like bad health, losing a job, divorce, something, some kind of kick in the butt to say, hello, wake up, you've got to change something about your life. And while you're in that, you're just like, dang, this sucks. But don't look at it as something that sucks. Embrace it. I know it's hard to say when you're going through it, but embrace it and see it as an opportunity to grow and to learn. That's what it's about. Something inside of you needed to change. And it's never ending. Life is never ending journey and process of learning and bettering yourself. I mean, look at yourself. I hope you can look at yourself and reflect on yourself a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Now, sometimes you may say, man, I wish I was that person I was 20 years ago. But there's parts of you 20 years ago that you're like, really? I was so mature. Or, man, I wish I knew then what I know now. So you may look back and say, oh, that was better then or something. But just reflect on times in your life when things were hard. Now, if you're looking back when things are hard in your life and you're like, that sucked, why did I have to go through that? Then I think you still need to work on growing a little bit more. You haven't gotten rid of that. You went through the experience, you went into the fire, but you didn't release all that you needed to release. Something's still sticking to you. You need to kind of, I don't know if you want to say get back in the fire again, but you need to kind of reflect on that and work on yourself a little more and figure out what is still stuck to me that I need to let go of. Sometimes that's hard because you don't really know, especially if it's something that happened when you were really little. But through meditation and mindfulness, you can just want to let go of that stuff that no longer serves you. You can ask, you can set intentions before your meditations that I want to let go of things that aren't serving me. I want to let go of anything that I'm holding on to the past that's preventing me from being the best version of myself. So we all want to be the best version of ourselves, and we all are always improving constantly until our last breath. And so I want to encourage you to just, if you're in a stuck time, something's making you stuck, just keep going. This is just something to help better you. Yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry. I've been through many sucky things in my life too. We all have. And you may compare yourself and say, oh, mine's so much worse than other people. Well, then maybe you need to open your eyes a little more. You know, I don't know what to tell you. But we all go through it. That's life. I guess you could say it's life. We all go through it. And I just want to encourage you, hang in there. And if you have advice for other people, leave comments below to help other people, encourage them. I'm hoping that this video encouraged you. I really do. And I think it did. I really think it did, especially if you stuck through the end. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Love you.